What is good, YouTube? It's your boy, the Gamer 870, back with another banger. This is one of my favorite types of videos. I was asked why someone, well, it was more than one. It was more than one. It was several over a period of time, anyway. Exactly how do you run the ball so effectively? And it's an honor to be able to make this video because the art of the run game is dying on Madden 21. Everybody just wants to see how many passing yards they can get on you. But in my opinion, to be effective, you need to have a little bit of both. I will say this. If you come into the game and you have not taken the essential first steps before you even start to play, it's a waste of time to get in game and decide that you're going to start running the ball. Okay? First thing that you need to do to help your run game, there are three different offensive line, well, two different, but there are three offensive line abilities that you need to have to even begin to have an effective run game. Both of your guards need to have post up. It allows them to be dominant when engaged in double team. And needs to have your center needs to have identifier. Okay? Your center needs to have identifier, and it's very important that you put identifier on one of your offensive linemen because offensive linemen get identifier for 1 AP. If you put it on your quarterback, they get it for 2 AP, saving AP by simply putting it on an offensive lineman. All right. Now, with that in mind, let me tell you how these two things are going to help you. The first way it's going to help you is if you have post up on your guards, you know those pesky inside stuffs that they put on their defensive linemen? That's how you can eliminate that threat, okay? That's how you can eliminate that threat. Identifier. Every single play that you run, whether it's a run or a pass, get into the habit of identifying, well, not identifying, but marking who your opponent is using. This is going to help you because the offensive linemen have a tendency about 85 to 90% of the time they'll go and block that guy when you mark them to be blocked. Now, if you just let that guy run around freely, he's going to do what he wants to do, and there's nothing that you can do about it because he's not going to be running the scheme that is drawn up in the game. Okay. Now, with those two things taken care of, if you have those two things taken care of on the game, another thing that I have a tendency to do. Everybody likes to run play fake and go deep on their offense. I don't. I don't. I run go deep on my receivers, but my running backs, my offensive linemen, depending on the style of running back that I have, when I had Willis McGahee, I ran power run, okay, because he's a powerful back. When I had Barry Sanders, I ran zone run. These help tremendously because it increases their blocking and it increases your back's ability to do various things. That's another tip that's imperative that you have to do if you're going to be effective in the run game. Now, if you've done the homework first, and what I just told you to do was the homework. If you've done that first, everything else it comes easy. It comes easy. For example, you can really run whatever run play that you want to run. I decided I'm going to run one run play. I literally am going to run one run play with variations of it, and I'm going to drive up and down the field on a quality opponent. This is a really good game. It's 3-0 in the second quarter. Now, if you notice something, I've marked Metcalf, who is his user. I've marked Metcalf. This is my first run of the game. This is my first run of the game. You can do this by doing something differently, but I like to do what I'm doing now to let me know what's going to happen during the game. I noticed that he has inside stuff on his nose guard. But what I have a tendency to do is you don't know necessarily how good that inside stuff is going to be working on that guy. So I don't double him or anything. I just see how he could be handled, by my offensive lineman. It was 2nd and 1. This was a safe play to try it. It was a safe play to try it. So I just ran the ball right behind it. And the nose guard didn't penetrate the offensive line. Now it's simply a numbers game. I'm running power O. Out of I formation. And if you take a line and you put it right down the middle of the field through the center, quarterback, fullback, and halfback, what you get is a numbers game. He has Metcalf to the right side of my offensive line. So count the people in the box. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the box to the right. And I'm looking at it from my vantage point, not from his vantage point. That's to the right. Now let's look at the box from to the left. He has 1, 2, 3 to the left. I'm going to identify Metcalf. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, 3 to the left. All right. Blocking, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. Okay. I like 5 over 3. I like 5 to 3 better. So I'm going to go to the left. Okay. I'm going to simply go to the left. What I do, come out, I see that he's made these adjustments, and I've already put my identifier on Metcalf, and you run where the open space is. If you notice, I don't do a lot of juking, I don't do a lot of cuts, I don't do a lot of of the fancy stuff. I simply, same thing. You come to the line of scrimmage, you call one play, but you don't know how he's going to be coming out and what he's going to be doing. So again, it's the same play, power O, but all that background work goes into account first. Again, it's a numbers game. Wherever he is, I'm running the opposite direction. Wherever he's more powerful, I'm running the opposite direction. If you see it, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 in the box to the right. To the left, he has 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 to the left. To the right, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like my chances running to the left. So that's what I'm going to do. And you simply run to where the open space is. Now, a play may be called one way, but you just have to know, you have to see the open field. Now, here, again, he's loaded to the left side now. If you count him, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. To the left, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. It's a numbers game. Simply run to where the numbers are fewer for him, and where I can get more blockers out. Nothing fancy, nothing super special. It's a numbers game. Running takes a lot of patience, though. It takes a lot of patience. And I'm going to fast forward here to, I think, the end of the game. If you aren't careful running the ball, when running the ball, you will have a very difficult time simply stopping anything. If you notice here, we did the same thing. Power O, number game. I see how he's coming. He's going to have a very difficult time stopping it. Now I'm going to fast forward. That was the end of the game. I should have shown you something differently. I literally drove down the field running the ball with this one play. All right. Okay. This game was a little bit closer than I wanted it to be. Okay? It was a little bit closer than I wanted it to be. So I decided to drain the clock with this one run play. We are at the 42-yard line. I'm going to run power O all the way down the field. All the way down the field. Okay? It's the same concept, same everything. When you wherever he is. Now, let me help you with this one before it happens. You're going to get some very intelligent players when it comes to stopping the run. Some people are going to shift their defensive line to the left. They may shift to the left, but then they'll turn around and they'll send everybody right. What that does is it confuses your offensive lineman, and it's going to confuse you too because you're going to be counting. You're like, wait a minute, how are they getting over here? To counter that, you have to start being one step ahead of them. You have to start being one step ahead of them. You have to know, okay, he's doing this, he's doing that. You're also going to get a lot of people that are going to run. They're going to run stop. They're going to run commit. The way to beat run commit, this one's free. Majority of your outside runs beat run stop / run commit. So if you simply are running like a power, or if you're running not a sweep, but if that has to be going downhill. Run commit will stop the sweeps and stuff like that. But if you're running to the outside, you have a pretty good chance of being effective there. Simply running the ball, numbers game, nothing fancy. Running the ball with my numbers game. I want him to run commit because usually when they run commit, you break. Barry Sanders was dog tired here. Look at him; he's breathing heavily. He's breathing heavily. But it's not about Barry Sanders on this play. It's about, am I doing what I've already done the homework to do? And I told you, it's simply running the numbers game. Simply a numbers game. Simply a numbers game. Nothing fancy. Are you able to simply do a numbers game? He did run commit here. Ran to the outside. So here you have it, people. I literally ran one play. But all of the before groundwork was what was important. Everything else, the putting post up on my guards, putting identifier on my center. With Bear Sanders, I use zone run. So putting 50 out of 50 zone run on my offensive line and running backs. Those are the kind of things that are imperative to have an effective run game. Hopefully this has helped you. Showed you that the play is not so much. It's not so much the play that's important. It's what you do to prepare to play that's important. Hopefully this has helped you. Hopefully this will get you some games where you can rush for over 100 yards, maybe even 150. It's not as tough if you do the work beforehand. But if you wait until the game starts and decide that you want to have a game that you want to run because they stop in the pass, it's probably not going to work. It's probably not going to work because all of that other stuff that I mentioned is very important. It's very important. Just like you see Randy Moss running down the field with deep out elite on him, and he's able to moss people because of that ability. Same thing here. When you have the right abilities on people and you have the right scheme in place, it's going to be very tough to stop. Now, sometimes people will stop it. Let's get that part understood. Sometimes people will stop it. But if you do the thing that I just showed you here, I literally ran one play and scored on a very tough opponent. As you see, the game ended at 6-17. He was really good. It was a nice opponent. But I decided that I wanted to go ahead and show you how to do that. So I ran one play and was effective. No further ado, continue to be blessed, continue to allow God to use you. And nobody told you today, I love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it.